Hello, and welcome to another week of the Couch Coaches podcast. I've got the reins again this week. Your co-host for the week, Richard, the bandwagon conductor, Letty, and joined once again by my good mate John. John, it started off as a huge week for the Warriors with the midweek news last Wednesday, but sort of the spirits of the Wars fans went downhill on Friday night. How are you feeling after that roller coaster sort of 48 hours?
Yeah, well, just like James Fisher Harris's signing, I did not see that coming. What happened on Friday? Basically, it was a hard watch, wasn't it? When first of all, I thought when Sean Johnson scored that try early on, really easily, just went through the line, got there. I thought, yeah, here we go. Here's my 13 plus for the multi. But from there, we just got demolished. We were dominated all over the park, and I couldn't believe it. And what was really frustrating for me, I'm just letting everyone know this, is that this is the first time I've walked away from a game, a Warriors game. But no, not because I'm a not because I'm a sore loser. I'm like a sour.
Bandwagoner.
No, stuff. Don't even.
Bandwagon alert.
It was it was I was watching the game with some mates at Four Kings, and they decided to prioritize the Hurricanes game that was against the Drua, which was playing sort of at the same time. So the commentary was on them, and the Warriors game wasn't. So it was like you could watch it, but it was on mute. And the more you saw things happening, like tries going, try after try after try with the Dragons, and mistake after mistake from us. The poor defense, our defense was really poor. It just got really frustrating. Just all on that. On top of that, a muted game. So like I was like to my mates, you know what? 15 minutes out before full time. I was like, let's go. Let's just go. I've had enough of this. And but so I watched it. I watched the rest of the game on my phone, so I had some commentary there. So that was easier to watch, but it was a poor performance. And any Warriors fan, any true loyal Warriors fan will say that it was a poor performance all around. They were dominated. I didn't have a clue what they were doing on attack and defense. I mean, that try, that long range try, for example. I can't remember who scored it in the end, but
like Carl Sloan, was it?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. And he scored it, and I just saw Dallin went to go tackle him. It was like it was quite pathetic in a way. And I know that's really harsh to say. I don't like to be real critical because we're not the ones out in the field. But you would have thought that he would have he would have taken that tackle. He got there. It wasn't like it was out of reach or anything. He was out of reach or anything. He got there, and I just couldn't believe how he just went straight through with ease. And it's just like our defense was really poor, and yeah, just a poor game overall. What do you think, mate?
Yeah, I mean, summed it up. I think, I'm glad it wasn't, an 80-minute bad performance, but yeah, that 60 minutes, I think we just looked like we were absolutely steamrolling them in that first 20 minutes. We were playing we were playing such good footy. We were just marching away up the field. We had all the possession. I think in the first 20 minutes they had one play of the ball inside their half, potentially. Am I making that up? There was some stat, maybe like one play the ball inside their 20.
Yeah.
But I mean the stats were all just so massively on our favour, and then we just lost it. We gave away a couple of real silly penalties around the ruck. I think Rocco Berry did one, Tamari Martin did one. And Ben Hunt just kicked the ball up the field, and they just cruised through. And there's just a few players that just, Montoya had that just absolute, he just went to run the ball back and just got the ball knocked out of his hands, knocked it forward. Jackson Ford once again had bloody hands like feet. He seems to be someone who, we obviously both rate him pretty highly, but he's had a couple of pretty bad. When he's bad, he's pretty bad. Like he just sort of. And he was hooked, goal, right? He was hooked with about 20 minutes to go as well. So I did wonder whether there was an injury or something there. I had him as a third leg on my anytime try scorer multi with Dallin and Zach Lomax, and obviously the other two came in. So the last I didn't realize he'd been hooked until about sort of 10 minutes to go. I was, where is he? And then we were hardly ever going to left edge as well. So I think that's a problem with the attack, is that we've just sort of relying far too much on that right edge. You've got to remember we've got the likes of Tuivasa-Sheck over on the left there, you know. So we need to be
Yeah.
utilising that Jackson Ford when he's got the ball in hand. You know, he's a great ball runner. He hits those holes well. Montoya, yeah, so I mentioned him before. Definitely wasn't his best game. There was some talk I saw on social media, people thinking that he might get dropped. But no, he's still playing in the 2 jersey, and hopefully he can have a big bounce back game. But yeah, it was pretty concerning against a Dragons team who played well. But you know, you look at that team on paper, and we're better than them basically in every position. You know, probably apart from Lomax. And Ben Hunt, you know, Ben Hunt and Sean Johnson are probably on pretty similar terms, you know. But yeah, I mean, Zach Lomax, he's a good player and a huge signing for the Eels. Would have been a bit of a kind of a roller coaster for Eels fans that night as well, because they might have watched that game, be excited about watching Zach Lomax, and then saw the their beloved team go down by about I think Dolphins scored 9 consecutive tries against them in that game. So yeah, just a bad game from the Warriors. I don't want to look into it too much. We obviously had a few players missing, but I mean, our bench was found out. We hardly even used it. They used their bench really well with the likes of Merritt Masilla, Blake Lowry, and DeBellin. You know, they were just carving up the middle, easy meters, and hopefully it was just a one-off. That's my rant tonight.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, Zach Lomax, I mean, there were some rumors that he wanted to backtrack on his Eels deal after that game, but you know that could be just the emotions flying high because you know they've just beaten like a top team and done it with ease. He did have a great game though, didn't he? And but going back to the Warriors, yeah, no, I like your point about the you know we weren't using the ball on the left there, we're just going to the right, and they tend to do that. They tend to use the right a lot, but I'm not sure if that's the greatest tactic right now because just hearing Sean Johnson during the week talk about his Achilles injury, like it's not a secret, it's out there, and even Andrew Webster has come out saying that you know we might have to rest him for one game. No disrespect to the other team, we rest him. It's just you know to make sure that his body's right, and he's not even training. For I think the last few weeks he hasn't even been training. He's just been getting ready for game day, just playing through the pain on game day. So. Having all that burden on him is quite a lot, you know, if that's the case, which is the case. And so, you know, because I was going to say Tamara Martin didn't really do much, did he? But they didn't actually go.
No, he was nowhere to be seen, pretty much. Like, gave away a penalty, and that's about the only memory of him during that game. So.
Yeah, exactly. So you're right. I like that point where you know they should be using the left, and when they do use the left, it does pretty well. Like you said, Jackson Ford, you know, or Roger, they do something there. Even if they haven't broken through the line, it's still gaining meters. That sets up the attack for the right, you know, in towards the end. So yeah, it was good point there. That was a hard watch. But what was even harder is that you know I mean. You know, I always every week when we come on here, we'll have a rant about the fans, and it's not because I don't enjoy the fans, love the fans, and I love the energy that you know the New Zealand fans are bringing to the Warriors and the support they're getting because they're getting so much support. Again, another sold out game. Did I not call it? Did I not call it?
You did, and it was sold out before. I think it was sold out on Thursday last week. You know, so
yeah. I've called it, guys. I've called it. I mean, I know we're still early in the season, but I've been saying I won't be surprised if every game is sold out, and so far it's come true so far. But anyway, I just lost my train of thought because I was giving myself a compliment. Yeah, what was I talking about? What was I talking about? What was I talking about?
Well, Warriors selling out every week.
Oh, the fans. That's right. The fans. Yeah, sorry. But the thing is, I just saw on the social media how much they were giving it. The criticism was so bad. Like I'm all good for criticism, like honest criticism. Like if someone's playing that bad, they can say that. But what they were doing is just that I can't believe it. They're calling for heads. There were people that actually were saying Andrew Webster should have a break and stuff like that just because of that one loss. I can't believe people are saying that. And that's when you know the bandwagoners show their true colors because they have no flipping clue about how this game runs and how it works. And but I do have one criticism for Andrew Webster about his bench last week. I think even we mentioned it last week. His bench wasn't really strong, and he didn't even use it. So what's the point of it? If you're not going to use it, especially when there are players that are just going missing in the game, make that
Yeah.
change. Make that change, and so that would be my one criticism. But like he's got the team ready every week. The players didn't perform, not him. The players didn't perform on the field, but I reckon they'll come back strong for this game. And even though, who's missing from this week? I think Kurt Catewell is missing
Check was that.
from
Yeah,
this week.
Jacob Laban starting first start of his career, so exciting for
Yep,
the young boys.
yep,
Been pretty good off the bench last few weeks, I think,
yep,
and yeah, I mean the club obviously massively rates him, so
yeah,
it just feels like second. I feel like the second row was a position where, well, positions where we used to have a lot of depth, but I suppose with a few injuries at the moment, it's just and we let a few guys go. We let the likes of Sirenen and Karen go last year. So it's good to see these young guys get a go. You got Zion come off the bench, and I think
yep. Paul
Paulie Roach
Roche.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
interesting lineup. Would you have made any other changes after last week? As I said before, there was some suggestions that Montoya could have gone. Jackson Ford's had a couple of sort of below par averages
Yeah.
games in between some good games. Would you have made any other changes?
Yeah, not really, to be honest. Because just going on the depth they've got, there's not, who would you change? You know what I mean? Dylan Walker's back, which is awesome. Back on the interchange where he can start, but we know that that's where he's best utilized is when he's playing that utility player. Number 4. So I'm glad that he's back. We need him there. But like who would you? I mean, when I look at it, players that like Montoya, for example, who would you put in? There are players. Who would you put in? Like, for example, for Montoya,
Well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
probably wouldn't do it, but if I was going to do it, I'd probably switch Roger out to wing. He seems to have played his best footy this year when he's not playing centre. Dare I say it?
Yeah,
I'm not one of those ones who, I'm not one of those ones who wants to see him play fullback. I think Chance was one of the rare shining lights in that game in the
yeah,
weekend. He's probably one of the only players that looked like they were trying and they were giving things. He was giving things a go.
but would you
But
move?
you
Would you? Sorry,
do
keep
that,
going.
move Roger out, and then put probably Pompey or Leatua in at centre. Probably
That's what I
Leatua
was
in
gonna,
centre.
that's what I was going to ask you. Who would you put Montoya into centre, or would you just take him out completely? But you've answered that question already now.
Yeah,
So
no, I
yeah,
think, but no, I don't mind him staying. I think that I really like him, and he had a bad game. He's been pretty good this year, not without being sort of spectacular. But we know what he's capable of. I think it's a confidence thing. Like I think like that, his stats for last week were horrible because his confidence is obviously down after that drop ball. I
yeah,
think I think I saw a stat like in the first half he ran for about 100 meters, but then he only ran like 120 meters in the whole game. So, like if he'd
yeah,
kept up that first half work ethic, you wouldn't be complaining. So, um, he'll know that he didn't have his best game, and he'll want to put a thing on. And yeah, I think in the Fords, I mean, we've got too many injuries to make any changes there, and
yeah.
we're obviously forced to make Cape. I haven't actually seen do you know what the Cape Well injury is?
I did hear that he well, someone said it was like a rib injury from weeks ago that's still there, but then I heard someone else say sore throat. So I don't know if that means he's got COVID or something. I don't know if he's just got a sore throat or like something from the outside like he got hit in the throat. I don't know, but don't know what it is yet actually. But yeah, he's out for the game, and honestly, he's only out because of not being dropped. It's just because of injury, but just don't know what that injury is. But I still expect us to bounce back. The team still looks strong.
Yeah,
The bench, I wouldn't say so much like last week, but who knows? I've never really seen Zion really play myself, to be honest. But really looking forward to seeing him and seeing what he's got, what he's got to give. And I'm sure he'll be pumped for it as well, which is always good for us. It's always good for a team when you've got someone really pumped to get out there. And like you said with Jacob Laban, out there as well, starting this week. So yeah, full confidence, but you never. I mean, I'm not. I would say again that the Warriors should win this comfortably, but you can't really say that this year for any team right now because it's like I told you, it's the year of the multi-killer. where teams where you think we're
Yeah.
expected to lose are actually just blowing over other teams. So, yeah.
We're playing against the Titans at a bad time as well. They've had two close wins. I don't know if you saw much of that game on Saturday night against Manly, but it was one of the more entertaining games of the round. It was just tries galore. Somehow I got 3 out of 4 on my anytime try. I had a lot of misses on my anytime try score multis over the weekend. It was heartbreaking. Evans was my final leg, but I'd consider putting Ulaquatu in there. Considered putting Tommy T in there. Considered putting David Fafita in there. Went with Cherry Evans, and he was the only one that didn't score. It felt like in the whole game.
Oh, wow.
But no, it was a super entertaining game. Kieran Foran round the clock back about 10 years, I reckon. He was playing so good. So I think they'll be wary, because although it's a Titans team that, a couple of weeks ago I was pretty happy to say I don't think they're going to win the game this year. I think they will win a game, at least one game this year. After the last two weeks, I think they're definitely. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I got a bit of trivia here for you actually. Last time the Titans played at Mount Smart was one of the homecoming games 2 years ago. And the Warriors were up by heaps with 10 minutes to go in classic Warriors fashion. The game went to golden point. Which team won, and who kicks the winning field goal? I was at the game. It was heartbreaking. So probably giving you an indication of who won.
Okay, was it the Titans that won?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, right. I mean, I knew that. No, I didn't. You just gave it away. Thanks, mate. Who would have kicked it?
Obviously, weren't as invested in the game as I was. Well, I was there.
No. Who was playing in the halves then? Might have been Kieran Foran, but for some reason I keep thinking AJ Brimson.
No, it was not AJ Brimson.
Or what's his name? I just had a brainstorm who the person is. He usually plays fullback. Real. He's a son of a former player.
Not him.
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, Jaden Campbell. Yeah. But I think that he played in that game and did some damage. He's a blondie.
Wait, for some reason I'm going to say David Fafita, just out of the blue. I know it wasn't. But yeah, I know it wasn't. Yeah.
No, you're not going to get Tanner Boyd. It was hard. It was one of those classic Warriors where we were up by 14 with 10 minutes to go. They scored 3 tries in the final 10 minutes and went to golden point. And I was sitting up in the lounge.
Classic Warriors.
And it was unbelievable. And it was pissing down, and then they had the sort of club awards on the field after the game, and it was amazing because it was absolutely drenched. The Warriors had just blown this big lead, and there was so many fans out there, on the pitch watching it. I was just like, it just sums up the sort of the Warriors faithful, not some of these bandwagoners that we're seeing these days, John, but I wasn't down there. I was up in the lounge having a beer, to be honest, but.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, bandwagon is again, I'm all for it. It's just that if you're gonna join the bandwagon, I'm just saying do some research, do some bloody research, not just research the Warriors and the club and a bit of the history and the players and stuff. Do some research into the game itself, because the funny thing is about these bandwagoners are so quick to jump on social media, even during a game and say blah 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 blah, and it's just they're showing the true colors, and the people are commenting and responding to those messages. I'm just if you're a bandwagoner out there and you're listening to this, do some research into the game, know how it works, and stuff like that before you open your bloody bandwagon mouth. So yeah, that's my thing.
Speaking of bandwagoners, have you joined the Pinot Noirs yet?
No. My wife's trying to get me into the Pinot Noirs, but she won't call it that. But yeah, no, I'm still on the whiskey. Yeah.
For those of you just listening, I'm on the nice glass of Pinot Noir tonight, or Pinot Noir to celebrate the podcast. So I'm 100% on board with it. Love a Pinot. I'm not. I think a lot of the point of it is some of these newer sort of fans that are a bit more sort of upper class. That's not me. I'm still a lower class. I'm sort of lower class OG fan, but I love love watching the Warriors with a glass of red. So I just thought I'd shout out to the Pinot Noirs and the waves that it sent around social media in the last week. They had a couple of good laughs. I don't know if you saw there was a I think it was a Hauraki. Hauraki had a song and they changed the words to like a Simply Red song to being about the Warriors and the Pinot Noir. Oh, it's so good.
Well,
So,
I actually haven't heard that. Far out. Where have I been?
I'll try to find it and maybe share it on the page. It's
Yeah.
I was in hysterics. I actually watched it like during that game when I was on quite a I was on quite a low, feeling quite sad, and I watched this video and it sort of perked me up. So shout out to the I think it was maybe even the Matt and Jerry boys.
Am I trying too hard if I say I just stick to my whiskey? Am I trying too hard by using the words my whiskey? But good old.
No, there's a whole list of drinks. There's the Waga. There's the with the Waga leader, Margarita.
The Margarita,
Margarita, the Wagria, the Sangria, Wagria. I saw a whole list of them. I had a good little laugh, and it was potentially also someone from Hauraki or ACC. So they're very much jumping on board with that, and I'm here for it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, no, I think this weekend will be. Well, it's not this weekend, is it? Thursday, big Thursday of foot. How good! 3 games to look forward to for Anzac Day. I can't wait. I think it'll be. I mean, it's a hard one. We should win. I mean, we will win. I don't think we'll lose, but it'll be tighter than we think. Just before I forget, should we throw out some Wally endpoints for last week? If you got some players lined up, I know it was hard to. So there wasn't too many positives, but hopefully you're able to, say a positive thing or two about some of the players.
Yeah, it wasn't easy because of like I said before, the game was on mute, so it's hard to do things when things are on mute. I know, people who watch games probably understand when the game's on mute, it's just hard to just keep track on what's going on and hearing what the refs are saying what happened this, what happened there. So but look, you go first, mate, because I've got some people in my head, I'm not sure, but you go first.
Okay, we'll see if I can twist your arm into giving any points out. So 3 points I've got chance. He got 248 running meters, which was the most in the game. 6 tackle breaks, which I think was the second most in the game, just behind Roger. And as I said before, I just feel like he looked like he was trying a lot harder than most of the team, or probably near all the team. I'll give him 3 points. Another one of the double barrel brothers, Adam Flannery-Blake, him 2 points. 233 running meters, played 70 minutes, which is pretty massive for a front row. Obviously, with the sort of the inexperience they had on the bench, he took one for the team. 97 post-contact meters, which was a game high, and he's just so hard to put down. And you would have thought that potentially after the week that we'd had with the Fisher Harris news coming out, and I don't know, Warriors, we haven't really touched on that. I'm sure we'll have to give it a little segment soon. Warriors fans were pretty excited about it. It was sort of like, Adam Flannery-Blake, who? So he obviously just bounced back and said, you're still going to miss me. And we're still going to miss him. As good as it's going to have Fisher Harris. And 1 point, captain, Tohu Harris, just his usual sort of solid self. He had a couple of sort of rogue passes, which were sort of knocked on. But apart from that, it was 168 running meters, 48 tackles, which was team high, potentially game high. And he did have one or two sort of bad passes, but I feel like his ball playing, he's really kind of getting into that sort of ball playing back row sort of position, and he does have he's got a beautiful touch, really nice touch when he sort of gets on it. So it was great to see the ball in his hand and him and he put up some huge minutes as well. I actually haven't written down how many minutes he had, but I don't even know if he went off. So that's my 3, 2, 1.
Yep, mine's very, very similar to yours, but it's one change. My 3 points is Adam Flannery-Blake, and just like you mentioned, just pretty much played the whole game. Just did what he normally does best, and just takes the ball, runs it up, and makes those meters. Sets the platform, for an attack. But we know they didn't. The rest of the team didn't complement what he was doing out there. So 3 points for Adam Fanua Blake. Chance as well, 2. Could have either way. There could have been both of them. One or the other, 3 or 2. But just like you said, he just looked like he was just trying his hardest out there and just didn't have the support of the team. If you get what I mean, just that they didn't complement what he was trying to do. Just like I said with Adam Fanua Blake, they just didn't complement what they were trying to do. So the 1 point was the hardest one because it was just everyone that I thought was poor. But I'd give it to Sean Johnson mainly just because of the try he scored, and because also he's playing through pain as well, so he's doing what he can. So yeah, so Sean Johnson for me.
Nice. Some big moves for Nick Klodstedt and AFB on the leaderboard. I think Neil Blake's up to second, and I think Chance might actually be in the lead now. So with his 5 points, so,
no surprises there. Yep.
No, I mean he hasn't played too many games as well, so it's probably the same with sort of Wade Egan. Wade Egan's second. 2 of them have been out a few games, but shows how important they are.
Let me ask you this: where, and for everyone that's listening, where do the Warriors need to improve in their game? Because we know we've got the talent, right? The Warriors had the talent, they had the X factor. We all know that, but where are they struggling right now? Where do they need to improve?
I think they're lacking the creativity on attack, which we potentially saw last year. I mean, I sort of talked before about how they go into the right edge a bit much. They're kind of expecting that their right edge is just going to work like it did last year, like Dallin was just scoring those. I mean, shout out to Dallin for that try he scored. That was probably very underrated how hard that was, that was an incredible try. He had absolutely no right to score it. So shout out to him. And that's the sort of tries he was scoring on a regular basis last year. But we just can't seem to sort of, I don't know whether we're just sort of throwing it out there and expecting sort of magic to happen. So, I mean, we know Johnson's injured, but yeah, I think his kicking game hasn't been as dominant as it was last year. Maybe Tamari Martin needs to be, like as I said, like I think Tamari Martin, apart from that first game he played, was it 2 weeks ago? Maybe against Manly, was it, or the week after, where he looked great. Came in and scored a try, and no, it was the Knights game. Yeah, what was the Knights game? I can't remember. I confused myself.
Well, I mean, they've obviously got a set play there, haven't they? Like when they go to Johnson, like you see it game in, game out. Like they're just getting to Johnson. He's kicking to he's putting the bomb up right there, waiting for Rocco Berry, because even Rocco Berry sometimes doesn't even contest. Right, he gets to the player sometimes and just waits for the player to take it to hit him down. Then it's like they've got a plan of attack from there. Like they've got a plan set up, and which is all good. I got nothing wrong with that. But then, does that work every game out? I mean, every team's going to, if we can figure it out, I mean, every team's going to figure out that's what their plan is. So I think with the Dragons, for example, they knew what the Warriors' plan was, and they worked around it, and it worked to a charm. So like,
I mean, any time we put up an attacking kick, it seemed like Zach Lomax was just lingering somehow. Like even that try that he scored off the kick, like the Warriors, I think they'd set it up really well defensively. That like it was really hard for Lomax to get there, all legal, but Lomax is still able to sort of just like sneak his way through there, and he just jumped into it and scored. So, it's just sort of we need to hold on to the ball more, stop giving away silly penalties. It's just we're a bit loose, to be honest, at the moment. A lot looser than I'd like to be. What is it? 7 rounds in.
Outside the top 8 now.
Outside the top 8, 3-3 and 3-3 and 1. I think we're 9th. The top 4 is pretty wild when you look at it, It's Sharks, Storm, well, not actually, but it's the Dolphins in there at 3rd, and then Raiders still sneaking in there. There's a whole lot of teams just not sure about whether they're good or not. But we should be in the top 8. We're not, and if we don't start sort of being a bit more consistent, I mean, we just need to put on an 80-minute performance as well. We've probably only seen one of them this year against Rabbitohs. I think it was the Rabbitohs game where Tamari Martin played really well. But the rest of them have just been, it hasn't been as easy watching, I think, as Warriors fans were expecting. But that's also the joys of being a Waz fan, like even when we're supposed to be in this sort of premiership, well, everyone's talking about this sort of premiership window, but now we just need to start doing some of the simple stuff a bit better, and you know sorting out our game plan. Once everyone's fit as well, will be good. Once we can get our best
Yeah,
one close to our best team out, I've still got about 5 or 6 guys that probably would be in the top team or not far off it injured. So yeah, once sooner that everyone can sort of get fit, hopefully we can see this sort of game plan come to fruition.
yeah. It's interesting that you mentioned the Rabbitohs game because that's the game where we dominated them completely, and it was a really good game. But the thing is, what was good about the game, it wasn't just because the Rabbitohs were down. It was because it's the way we played the game, and everyone had a part to play, and like Tamara Martin did as well. We attacked from both sides as well. So, and the forwards going out the middle was awesome. So they need to replicate that. Instead of just keeping it to one side. I thought, like you, they were just keeping it to one side for most of the game, and you just can't win it that way. And I mean, maybe the plan was they took away that plan because of the fact that Jackson Ford and stuff was dropping the ball quite a lot. I mean, the week before that, Jackson Ford and Roger were dropping the ball quite a bit. So I mean, maybe I don't know if they adjusted because of those reasons. I mean, it'd be pretty silly to just from some drop balls, but they were pretty simple drop balls. Things that balls that they would never expect them to drop. So yeah, I don't know. Passes they wouldn't you wouldn't expect them to drop. Probably be a way to say it. But I just think that if they can work defensively, the attack will come to light because if they still believe, because the problem with the Warriors and over the years is their mindset, and I've said it from the start of this year, their mindset is different this year, and it's awesome to see. But when they think they're out of it, they don't put the full effort in. I think most teams are like that. When they're quite dominated, it's hard to get your mind in it. But if they can put a better defensive effort and keep teams at bay and keep within the score, within maybe 6 to 10 points, even if they're down, they'll still know they're in it and they'll still attack. And I think they've still got in it. But I think they just need to clean up their defense. They were pretty poor. They did in some soft tries in on the weekend. On Friday night, and it was just it was awful to see. If you're a Wasp fan, it's just like dagger in the heart style of stuff. It's like, what are you doing to me? So that's what they need to clean up from me anyway.
Yeah, no, I can't agree with that. And fingers crossed they will.
Yeah.
On Thursday afternoon at Sold Out Mount Smart against the Titans.
Yep.
I'll be watching eagerly. I've got a just a little bit of a, I'm going to change the subject a little bit here, but I've got a little start bench drop here. There's been a bit of talk. In that period, we've had a few Origin discussions the last few weeks. You're a Queensland fan, aren't you?
I am, yes.
Yep. So I've got a little Queensland conundrum for you. I've got a start bench drop, but I've actually got 4 players here, but it's over 2 positions and a potential bench position. So, so we've got Ben Hunt, Harry Grant, Kalen Ponga, and Reece Walsh. So you're starting 2 of them, one at hooker, one at fullback. Bench 1, drop 1.
So Ben Hunt, Reece Walsh, Harry Grant, and
Kalen Ponga.
Okay, I'm starting with Reece Walsh at fullback. Starting with Harry Grant at hooker, and benching Hunt and Ponga.
Now you got to drop one of Hunt and Ponga.
I'm going to drop one. Sorry, my bad. I'll drop Ponga.
Yeah, damn it, I'm the same.
I'm dropping Ponga and I'm keeping not because he's just injured, but if he was
who's fit? I'm very much
fit. I would still be dropping him. I'll keep Walsh at fullback, Harry Grant at hooker, and Ben Hunt on the bench because he can cover both those. He can cover like quite a lot of areas. So yeah.
And he's played that bench role so well for Queensland in the last few years. I always remember that, that chip and chase try he scored probably, 2 years ago in game 3, just to sort of, no, it wasn't awesome, but
come on.
it was impressive. And
it was amazing.
I mean, watching him on Friday night, he's just he's a very good player and he controls it well. So if you surround him with some more good players, yeah. So it's not. I mean, it's very much no knock on Ponga. I mean, Ponga would fill that role very well, I'm sure. But yeah, it seems like Reece Walsh is the incumbent. Who stormed onto the Origin stage last year. He's got big future ahead of him. So yeah, it was interesting. So that's gonna sneak up old Origin. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure there'll be some banter for those episodes.
Yep, bring it.
Yeah, I mean, we might as well just quick chat. What were your thoughts when Fisher Harris was signed?
Yeah, it was. I was shocked. Like honestly, I honestly thought it was an April Fool's joke. I remember when I saw it on my phone on social media, I had to look back a little bit just to make sure. Like, wait a minute, what's the date? What's the date today? Like thinking, like, are we still close to April 1? I honestly did that, and I bet you there'll be a lot of people that did the same thing. But honestly thought, wait, is this just a joke? You know, because people have done that. You know, saying players are signed for certain teams, April Fools. But we were far out of it, and then found out it was actually true. And wow, I mean, I was watching, I saw the video clips of Dennis Kemp's and Craig's what's his name? I'm having a bad time with names at the moment. I was gonna say Craig Smith, but it's not Craig Smith. It's
Queensland great Cameron Smith.
Cameron Smith. How did I just forget that? Sorry, guys. My bad.
Only like one of the greatest.
Yeah. I know who he is. I just had a brain. I've had like for the last couple of weeks. I've had some brain snaps with names. I don't know why. Like I'm just going to use.
He's a grub, so I'll forgive you.
No, I'm just going to use the excuse of the fact that I've been, I've got a newborn baby for the past 11 weeks, so dealing with that.
Well,
so
you'll be using that excuse for a few more years still, bro.
Oh, truly, definitely, right on. And here Dennis Kemp, Cameron Smith on their radio show. When the news came through, they had the video on Dennis Kemp's face, and he was in shock. You know, he was like, "Oh, there!" Like he couldn't believe it. And I think the whole rugby league world would have been the same. Like, whoa! Like, whoa! What just happened? What the heck just happened? And the gist of the story is, for everyone will know, but he's just a little bit homesick. Wants to keep his kids around, around family back in New Zealand, or back here where we are. I think he's from up north somewhere, and I think his grandfather recently passed as well. So I think just bringing his family back, to be closer to his family here was the main reason. The fact that we're the only NRL team, Warriors are the only NRL team in New Zealand, just works for that reason. So, I mean, how many times have we let players go back to Australia on compassionate grounds? So it's really awesome that Penrith, just let him off. There was no negotiation. Apparently, it was just done like that. He asked, they respected his wishes, said yes. And I mean, don't know if it's true or not, but apparently, I've heard this on one of the news platforms in Australia that Cameron George flew over to Sydney, signed the papers, and flew back the same day to get it done. That's how urgent it was, once they found out that he was keen to come over. And I'm glad they did. I'm glad they showed their urgency, because he is someone that's going to, I mean, he's doing things already, and he's already done things. He's the Kiwi captain, awesome leader. Not only is he going to, he's got standards on the field, but he's got standards off the field, so it's just going to be awesome for the club. And I think, the club's already going in a good direction anyway, and this is just going to just lift it up even more. So, in answer to your question, yes, I was in very big shock, because I did not know. I mean, no one saw it coming. Like, not even media, normally the ones that see this thing coming first. And, myself being in media, yourself being in media, and, myself being in sports media more recent times, it was a big shock. No one knew. Media didn't know either. And that's how fast it went. But it was done. It was swiftly done. And we've got James Fisher-Harris, and how awesome is that?
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm very excited to see how it goes. I had a similar sort of reaction. I said it in the lads chat. I was like, this has to be some sort of late April Fool's joke myself, So, but no, it wasn't. It was very much, it's happening. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But he'll be filling a huge gap, which Vanilla Blake's going to be leaving. You know, we're all pretty distraught when he announced that he was going back, but it's all worked out. And we obviously had that play for Hamlin Uele, which we missed out on, and
I'm actually all right with that. I'm
yeah,
actually happy with it.
quite thankful for that now. So,
Yeah. I'm happy. I was happy with it even before that because I didn't think he was a player that. Don't get me wrong. Like I feel bad sometimes when I say bad things about players, but I just didn't think he was the right player. I didn't think he'd done that much anyway. So yeah, I'm just glad that like he decided to turn his back on the Warriors and stay put. Whereas because now, as they say, we've got the bigger fish. So yeah,
we
I
do.
was waiting for I was waiting for the drum to come to them. But anyway, yeah, no, we got the bigger fish now, and it's awesome. I'm glad.
Yeah, and did you see the thing going around on social media with the team that Penrith have let go of since
Oh yeah,
2021?
yeah.
Wow, it's a 17. You know, it's 17 full on. Like you'd be happy to have that as your starting team at your club. You know, so the fact that they've already let go of so many of those players, obviously losing Luai and Fisher Harris and I'm sure there's someone else next year. I'll be interested to see what happens with Penrith, but I mean they won't be too bothersome. They've got their 3 premierships. Potentially, they're still favourites to win this year.
It's the curse of being such a good team. And the curse of having the curse of having so much depth. Like for example, let me just give you like an example of a rugby. For example, being working at the Hurricanes previously, is that there's so much depth at the Hurricanes this year. So much depth that players like Harry Godfrey, for example, amazing player, but who is missing out because there are players like Ruben Love there, playing at fullback, and Brett Cameron's doing well at first 5. So basically, he can't get anywhere. But the thing is that what's going to happen is that, but Harry Godfrey was slotted in to any Super Rugby team easily, in the starting team because he's that good. He's that good. So, like that's the example I'm going to bring is that, if you've got so much depth like Penrith do, you're going to lose players because if players can't, stay on board, they'll go somewhere else for the money because there is a salary cap as well. So when they're playing so well, money's going to get thrown at them by other clubs, which has happened. And that's why they leave. There's always a bit of an exodus as well and stuff. And it's not because they want to leave Penrith because, I mean, they must love it there because Penrith, not only are they a good team on the field, they've got a good culture going. They've got a good pathway schemes going and stuff. So it's just it's unfortunate. It's the curse of being a really successful club on and off the field. And that's what the Warriors are trying to build right now. But right now we've got James Fisher-Harris. He wants to come home to New Zealand. We're the only club, so good on him, and I'm looking forward to it. But we still got to look forward. We still got to look onwards to 2024 as well.
Yeah. Plenty of expectations for 2024. Yeah. Cool. We've got another round of footy to look forward to. Should we go through and do a quick go tips?
Yep.
Look back at last week first, and you got a few back on me actually, John. I took a few risks and didn't pay off once again. So we both had the Storm on Thursday night. Bet the Roosters.
Yep.
Neither of us had the Dragons. Who beat the Warriors, unfortunately. I went with the Eels. You went with the Dolphins. Dolphins big win on Friday night.
Yeah.
We both went with the Panthers against the Tigers. We both went with the Seagulls against the Titans. Broncos, Raiders. I was an idiot and thought the Raiders were better than they are. Turns out the Broncos are still pretty good this year. So, yep, you got a point there. Bulldogs, Knights. Bulldogs, huge win for the Doggies. They are looking.
Yeah.
They're looking like they could be. I don't know. They're definitely going to get a few more wins this year. They're not going to be that. This wooden, not going to be near the wooden spoon, I think, because
no.
Yeah, I'm very impressed with them. But I picked the Knights, so it's another one for you. And I went the Sharks. You went the Cowboys. Sharks, huge. I think it was about 44-16, I think. So there'd be a few eyebrows being raised within the Cowboys camp, I'm sure.
Yep.
Which puts the totals at the moment. So I'm on 33 and you're on 31. So just 2 in it now.
Ooh.
So you're slowly closing the gap. I think a few weeks ago I was up about 6. So you're just you're 2 at a time. You're just tapping it in.
I did tell you that, mark my words, I will come back and I will destroy you. So We'll see what happens now. Yeah.
Good luck. Good luck. Good luck.
Right.
Righto.
Yeah.
Round 8, Thursday afternoon at Mount Smart. Waz Titans. Sorry. Waz
Yep.
$1.21 favourites. Jumping on the Waz 13 plus.
Yep. Anzac Day match. Yes. Let us remember all those brave soldiers who served in Gallipoli as well.
And all those brave warriors that have had to play the Storm in the last few years.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
get beat in 66-10.
Yep. Exactly. That Warriors. But I don't think it'll be a 13 plus game. I think it'll be a much tighter. I think it'll be a 1 to 12 game. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's a 13 plus game. So that's what I mean by wrong.
I'm getting bullish on the Waz this week. Yeah, I think they're going to have a big bounce back, and they're going to put a number on the Titans.
Well, I hope you're right for once. Yeah. Yeah.
Which I hope one of us is right.
Yeah.
Dragons Roosters, the annual Anzac Day clash. Roosters $1.46 favourites. Dragons at home again though.
I'm trying to figure out if that game last week against us was a fluke. You know what I mean? They played well. I'm not trying to bring them down or anything. They did play well, and no one can take that away from them. But was it a fluke? Because they haven't played like that all year. And it was just one awesome game. Can they do it again? I'm still going to go Roosters. I'm going to go Roosters.
Yeah, I'll go Dragons. I think you're probably right in that they've got it in them. They did the same thing to Manly as well a couple of weeks ago, and the week after they lost to the Knights by about 20 points.
Yeah.
But they look like a well-coached team. Defensively, they were great in the weekend. With what they've got in the back line, their attack's impressive. So, yeah, I'm happy to take them, especially at home as relatively big underdogs.
Yeah.
Storm, Rabbitohs.
Storm. Yeah, Storm. Yeah, Storm.
Storm are winning. They're not winning that well, but they're winning. But this could be where they really show their class. Rabbitohs coming off a bye. The trail's still out. But yeah, I can't see. I don't think I'll be hard to back the Rabbitohs against any team this year. After backing them against the Warriors and they lost by like however many they lost.
Yeah.
Eagles, Eels. The Eagles $1.34 favourites at home at 4 Point Stadium.
Eagles.
Eels are not doing too well, are they?
No, they're missing another half. I mean, Dylan Brown is not a 7. I said this a couple of weeks ago. He's not a halfback. He's a 5'8", and they're missing they're missing a halfback, and that's where they're going wrong at the moment. I think Dylan Brown needs to go to 6. But the thing is that they put him in there because there's no one else experienced enough. But it's quite scary for the Eels, for the Eels club and the fans that they haven't got someone suitable to get slot into number 7. Not even someone from the younger grades. So it's it's quite worrying that they can't find someone to go into 7 and let Dylan Brown play his game at 6 where he does his best job and does his best work. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of talk about Gutherson being moved into the house, but I think that was still him playing 6 and then Brown playing 7, which might happen in the next few weeks if Moses isn't back. I'm going to see Eagles as well. I can't beat the Eagles again after what they did to me last week. Tigers, Broncos. Tigers at home. Broncos big favourite, still 21. I've seen an improved Tigers team this year, but can they down this red hot Broncos team?
Oh, definitely improved, and some better players on board, but I still think they're still too far away. When you've got players like David Clemmer starting for them, that's who they've got as a prop, and I mean, he's past his best, isn't he? Oh, David Clemmer and stuff. So when you got him starting because you got no one else there to start, it's like, okay, well, you need to find some new recruits in my opinion. When David Clemmer's starting, so it just shows their depth isn't the greatest as well, and Broncos, their depth is awesome, especially when you've got Tristan Saylor, Jaden Hunt, Big Marty Tapau, Jordan Pereira, all on the reserves bench, not on the interchange, outside the 17. So their depth is awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they do.
Yeah.
and then figure out what they can do with Tristan Sailor, because they're gonna. He's what you're talking about before about players who when they
Yeah.
can't get a go at one club, he's gonna go somewhere else, and he's a hell of a player.
Yeah. Exactly.
But
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, he's obviously not going to start at fullback because they've got
Yeah.
potentially the best fullback in the game, and they've got pretty
Yep.
good halves as well.
Yeah.
So
He'll go. He'll
I
go
don't
at some
know.
point.
Yeah, we'd have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Broncos as well. Cowboys, Panthers. Cowboys got absolutely spanked by Sharks on the weekend. Panthers just went about their work with a what was it 24-6 win over the Tigers.
Yep. Yep.
Panthers it is in Townsville.
Yeah. Nah. Panthers, mate.
Oh, I mean, Cowboys are just such a hard team to. I think they can beat anyone on their day. But
Oh, they can.
is Cleary back yet? I haven't actually checked the team.
Nathan Cleary's. Yep.
No, I'm gonna think.
Nathan
Yeah.
Cleary's he's been penciled in at 7 to start.
Sweet. I thought so. I thought I hadn't checked the team, but I was under the
Yeah.
impression that he was back this week. So
Yeah.
I'll go Panthers as well. There's just so many teams where it's just hard to sort of like figure out what's going to happen. And
Yeah.
speaking of that, we've got the Dolphins and Knights next, which are two teams which I've got absolutely no idea what to think about this game. I've been quite bullish on the Knights all season, and they just keep letting me down. The
Yeah.
Dolphins just they were topping the table after about 4 or 5 rounds. They're still in the top 4.
I'm going Dolphins.
The Knights, yeah, I mean the Knights came up with a big loss to the Bulldogs. I'm gonna go Knights just to mix it up.
Well, you lost Ponga. You lost Ponga.
What's wrong with Ponga?
He's injured.
He's a rib or something. Yeah,
he's out. He's out. And speaking of that game, you see what happened with your Jack Hetherington and Reed Mahoney. The punch up and stuff. Like Jack Hetherington. I mean, he played for the Warriors. I mean, I actually quite like him. Because he's quite a fiery person. But he just
a hot head then.
Yeah. He just gives away too many penalties. That's the problem with, I love his intensity and I love his firiness. I remember him and Jerry Hargraves going at it one time when he played for the Warriors. So he didn't back down from him, which is awesome. Which is awesome to see. But he crosses the line too much, where he actually puts your team in a bad position because he just gives away too many penalties for dumb crap. Just for dumb crap, he just does dumb stuff. And this is another example of it. Just getting in there and then just boom, punches Reed Mahoney in the chest. I don't know what happened there. It was just weird to watch, but
yeah, like it was sort of joking, But then it kind of just took Marnie off guard, and he was sort of like, "What's happening here?"
He did punch him, didn't he? Though, yes, he did do a little jab there, didn't he?
Yeah, but it was sort of looked like one of those, when you play fun with a brother or with your mate or something, like bit of a tia.
But then people took him away, so what would have happened if they didn't, push him away, pull him away from us? Yeah.
Who knows? I think it's a storm to take out, but I see he got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think maybe 1 week, 2 weeks if he fights it. So I think the judiciary's probably been smart about it, but I don't think there's much malice in there. But it's just, as you say, him being dumb, and if you just let people do that, then things are going to explode. So
yeah.
But I'll bet the Knights. I think they're due. A lot of confidence. Finish off the round. Raiders and Sharks in Canberra. Raiders. Yeah, they're just a hard one to pick, that team.
Yeah. I'll pick Raiders. I'm picking Raiders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're going against the Sharks again.
Raiders at home,
it's not an easy place to go.
No, they're a bit up and down. I know they're up and down. The Sharks are doing, looking well on the field. I don't actually rate the Sharks that much, even though they're on the board, they're doing pretty well. I actually don't rate them that much. And they've lost their halfback their 5'8" in Braden Trindle because of some drinking and some drug stuff that he's going through right now. But so Daniel Atkinson slots into number 6 for the Sharks. But I still don't rate them, to be honest. I don't rate them, and they're proving me wrong by getting the wins. But I still don't think they're the force that they that the score that the leaderboard is showing. So I'm gonna go Raiders this time. I'm gonna go Raiders and say they're gonna pull something out of Out of the hat, yeah.
Fair enough. I'll happily go against you there, back the Sharks.
Right.
And
Right.
I think if Nico Hines gets 6 Stallion points, I should get a bonus point for that as well.
Oh, he's already got it. Like that's like the game hasn't been played, but he's got 6 Dalian points. Kalen Ponga is not playing the game, but he's got 6 Dalian points as well. So that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is.
You'd be happy to hear Zach Lomax is leading the Dally M's at the moment. So it's
Yep.
a bit of it off what we used to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's probably it for that. Well, that's it for another week of Couch Coaches. Thank you all for listening. Up the Warriors. I hope let's hope that the Mount Smart faithful they will get out on that day. As some friends of mine I was talking to that's taking their kids for the first time. They're up in Auckland for the weekend. So shout out to Kate and Ben and Sam and Lucy. I hope you have a good time at the game. Nothing you want to sneak in there? Any shout outs?
Just no. Same as you. Hopefully there a big turnout. Well, there is going to be a big turnout because it's sold out. But just hopefully, I'm just hoping for a big win for us, and that keeps my my brain, at peace at mind when I'm going to social media because those bandwagons just really get me going. But just another week gone. Thanks guys for listening, and look forward to bringing you the review and the preview next week of on Couch Coaches. See you later, guys.
Choo 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 choo.